Howdy everyone. Now today we are going to dive into a topic from our empowerment technologies class that I think is very relevant today because we spend most of our time on the internet now. This topic is actually our first lesson on Unit 2, making oneself safe in the cyberworld. First, let's find out what this cyberworld is. The cyberworld or cyberspace refers to an online environment where many participants are involved in social interactions and have the ability to affect and influence each other. That being said, it's basically anywhere on the internet where social interaction occurs. This ranges from Messenger, Facebook, Twitter, to even the comment sections on YouTube. Now, one thing you need to know about the cyber world is that it is very big, and it wouldn't even be an overstatement if I said that it is as big as the earth itself, because it's true. And with something as big as the cyber world, it's no surprise that there are going to be some risks that comes with interacting within it. For example, you can get hacked, you can get malware, meet internet predators, get your identity stolen, get malware, you can get cyberbullied, and did I mention malware? Well, yeah, there's a lot of those scattered around the internet. There's even different types of malware. There's viruses, worms, trojans, spyware, adware, ransomware, fileless malware, and those are just the most common ones. There's more. Luckily, the topic that we are going to talk about is making oneself safe in the cyber world. Now, there are originally 10 tips to stay safe online that we discussed during our classes, but I decided to add one more because I think it's also relevant to the topic. Now, let's start with tip number 1. Think before you click. Now, what if you received a random link from a stranger saying it's a job application link for a very popular company? Should you click the link? The answer is no, 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 you should not. Remember those malwares? Well, yeah, you can get malware from clicking suspicious links and advertisements. So you should really only click links if it is sent to you by people you trust, and even then, you should still ask about where the link will take you. Tip number 2. Do not share personal information. This is very simple. Just don't give out your personal information to anyone, especially to people you don't know, to prevent being a victim of identity theft. There are even some personal information which you can't share, even with your close friends and family. This includes your passwords and your bank account information, so be careful with handling your personal information. Tip number 3. Beware of phishing and scam. I'm sure you already probably know about those scams that are sent through email that says you won an iPhone and click here to claim your prize. Well, yeah, most of the time scams and phishing attempts are incredibly obvious to spot, but beware. Some of these scams are very hard to spot. Take this scenario for example. You are browsing the web when a pop-up suddenly appears on your screen. It says that there is a discount on barbecue grills and you remember that you actually need a new one, so you click the ad and it leads you here. This seems like a legitimate shopping website, but if you look into it, you can actually spot the oddities. First, it's not secure. Notice how the URL of the website begins with an HTTP instead of HTTPS, and there is also no padlock icon on the address bar. Second, there is a sense of urgency. They place the words limited time only and a timer to make people rush their choices and not think about it properly. Third, the deal is too good to be true. The price went down by a whopping $500 and they couldn't even be bothered to place how much the discount is. And lastly, the payment method is not secure. They are asking for you to pay by bank transfer for another 10% off. Now that's just rude, you know. No shopping website would do that. Anyways, you guys need to remember that these scamming and phishing websites might try to change their approaches, so don't rely too much on this approach. Let's move on. Tip number 4. Keep your device secure. Now, let's say that there's a new update available for your phone's software, but It would take a few hours to install and it would drain up your phone's surfing data. Should you go on and install the update? The answer is yes, 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 you should. Most software updates always has a reason for coming out. It updates your phone's security services to protect them from new malware, so it's kinda worth it. Actually, it is worth it to keep your phones and gadgets up to date because it prevents malware from getting inside it. So, yeah. Tip number 5. Never share your passwords. Just don't do it. You're supposed to be the only person who knows your own passwords, and besides, why would you even share your password to anyone? What is the reason? Tip number 6. Never agree to meet anyone you just met online. Now, this is a very important tip, so please listen up. You should always be careful with whom you interact with in the cyberspace because there's a possibility that an internet predator may try to get your attention by pretending to be a good person and ask you to meet in person. And if that happens, just don't show up and tell your guardian. Now, this applies to everyone, no matter what gender, age, shape, and size you are. You just don't know what's going to happen, and besides, we are supposed to be in our homes to prevent the spread of COVID 19, so just stay at your houses. Tip number 7. Tell your guardian if something goes wrong online. Now, this is also a serious thing. If you are getting cyberbullied or someone is harassing you, go tell your parents or guardian. If it's something that you think is your fault, also go tell them. They can help by talking with the people who are bullying you or harassing you. Just tell them since they can't really help you if they don't know what's happening. Tip number 8. Cover your webcam when not in use. Now, remember the malwares? Well, yeah, they're back. There's one type of malware called spyware that can be used to get control of your webcam. That means hackers would be able to see what you're doing through your webcam. So, if you're like dancing in front of your webcam, even if it's off, you need to cover the camera with a tape or cardboard or just about anything would work as long as the lens are covered. Tip number 9. Use a strong password. Now, when you make passwords, make sure it's strong. It does not need to be very long, just strong. And when I say strong, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Now, yeah, you need a variety of words, numbers, and symbols. So, that's it. Tip number 10. Make sure you log out your account in public devices. Now, this only applies if you actually use public devices like computers in internet cafes. Always log out your account because people might hack your account if you accidentally leave your accounts open, so don't do that. Lastly, tip number 11. Use a VPN. Now, if you don't know what a VPN is, it is a virtual private network that hides your IP address and physical location. Basically, it will maximize your anonymity online and you will be less susceptible to being hacked. There's a lot of free VPNs out there and you guys should definitely check them out. Also, you can use it to view shows on Netflix that are normally not available here in the Philippines. So, go get it. And that concludes our video for today. Make sure to stay safe online and offline. Drink lots of water and stay at home. Bye!